sorry, I lost the connection. But
Okay.
So we are speaking now about care, caring, and repair. So about one is this SASFE Summer Institute,
Right.
what you did, and then I would like to speak with you about this Care Limited Gallery.
Okay. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
off the track with neurodiversity before, and I was going to finish with saying how important art was for neurodiversity because it
Yeah, but
acts.
please go
Yeah.
ahead. Please. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what art does is it creates, through being something that is a becoming. Art is something that's always becoming. It's changing. It's changing the cultural, sociocultural, economic, psychic environment or milieu that we're all interacting with. And those changes are registered in the brain's neuroplasticity. And I don't want to get into it, but it's basically sculpting new amalgams, new assortments of kinds of connections in the brain, and that it operates on the already existing neural diversity of the brain at birth. So the brain at birth is incredibly neural diverse. It has this capacity called neuroplasticity. It has this way of communicating with the environment called epigenesis, and through the process of synaptic efficiencies and synaptic epigenesis, the brain is sculpted by the ever-changing cultural milieu, which is diverse. And the brains are every generation, the brains of each generation is different. So there's the two things about neurodiversity. I just wanted to finish that up. Yes, Care Gallery, and the SASFE Summer Institute of Art. Yeah. So as I was saying, this year there has been dedicated to care and repair, to ideas of collectivity, to the ideas of solidarity, to ideas of comradeship. This has been my response. Why it's been my response? It's just, as an artist, this has been something that I wanted to deal with, and I wanted to take on head on, and I wanted to do something. That is why this was a kind of activism for me. It wasn't just like writing about it in my books, and making it in my art. It was a form of activism, a kind of remote, and I would say a remote activism. So the remote curating that we talked about is related to this kind of remote activism. Now, the SASFE Summer Institute of Art, as you well know, has been here for 7 years, and it's been mostly in Berlin. However, it's also been in New York and LA. But this year, because of coronavirus, it had to take place online. We had to curate it remotely, and we had to have our student body through Zoom. We Zoomified this program, and we had our lectures and our student responses and our student meetings on Zoom, and it was a very successful. It was different. And that's the key. It was different. It's not the same. You don't have the sense of of bodily contact and in the classroom and the kinds of certain spontaneous things that happen because of that. But it was great, and it was a wonderful experience. And I would even go back to that neural diversity thing. There were certain students in the class who felt they enjoyed the Zoom school better than the real school. We had certain students that were returning, had been at other of SASFEs, and a couple of them enjoyed being on Zoom more than they enjoyed the personal contact and all of the other kinds of things that were happening, in on our live program. So there's an example of how the neural diverse, are sculpted by the new conditions of this post-pandemic era. And it was very, very interesting. So I just say that we had amazing people from all over the world lecturing, and we had students from all over the world, and it was really good. But it was about caring and repair, and we ended up. I must say that the original caring and repair was supposed to be the year before. We had to cancel that, and we put it on again. And this time we focus more on the coronavirus. What is caring, and repair meaning the times of the pandemic? And also we feel that the environmental catastrophe that is awaiting us is a linked entity, that you cannot, that the coronavirus and global warming or environmental, the environmental catastrophe that is awaiting us is our linked phenomena. And in a way, we wanted to really expose that and talk about that. So TJ Demos, for instance, from University of Santa Cruz, addressed, really got involved in this linkage between the two. We had a lot of people. You could go online at www.sasve, Institute of Art, and you can see the whole curriculum and everything like that. And it's now, what's really interesting, and I wanted to point this out, was that Efflux, if you go to Sasve Summer Institute of Art, Efflux, they have all the free public lectures of all the people from Care, Caring, and Repair online now. So you can actually go to the Efflux. They have an Efflux site for the program now. Then the Care Gallery actually is not so remote. It's actually real. I mean, it's not an example of remote curating. I have a studio, like, I couldn't just not work. So I was able to find a studio out here. And I had the idea of, I had the idea of this Care Gallery, and I had thought about having the Care Gallery in New York before the pandemic. And I was, because I had always thought about that would be the right place to have the gallery. And what happened is that, of course, I haven't been able to go to Manhattan and New York and do the Care Gallery, although I'm going to bring it there now when I leave here, and hope this whole pandemic is finished by March. That's when I'm hoping to open up the gallery in New York. Okay. But, how can artists and essential cultural workers create new methods of caring, new methods of solidarity? Does art have a role in the production of new capacities and new possibilities for forms of caring, repairing, and solidarity? I mean, have we lost that? Has that become something that we haven't been paying attention to in this world of neoliberal cognitive capitalism, in which the art fair becomes the essential space for the presentation and the commodification of and the disorientation and dissolidarity of the aesthetic artwork? So I'm trying to ask those questions, and we have an amazing show right there now. Unfortunately, there's no website. I didn't have funds to put the website up yet. I plan to do that hopefully when things get a little better for me in March and April. I hope to be able to develop the website and put all the work that's up there now. But for now, I can just tell you that the show is called The Abyss of Uncertainty, and I have 8 women artists in the show. It's an all women's artist show because I felt that women have been unfairly affected by the coronavirus pandemic. So it was a real shout out to women artists who out here under-recognized and underappreciated to come together, and we've had an amazing response to it. There's going to be an article in White Hot magazine. I think it comes out today about the show. White Hot magazine. It'll come out today. Okay, yeah, that's it. So, any other questions? Yeah.
Do you have a question? Well, too many.
Thousands of questions.
Maybe it's not a good idea to get back, but when you said that some of the students of the Sasve Summer Institute enjoyed the Zoom lessons or lectures more than the real ones, did they give some reasons why they enjoyed them more? That's interesting, because a lot of people are mostly complaining about, it's a good method to go on anyway, but it's not the same like real life. And I would really like to hear why they...
Well, as I said, we have many students who, this word called geek, you're geeky, like it's somebody who's like really very, very science oriented or very, very can design a computer platform very easily, knows how to code, these kinds of people that kind of live by themselves and are kind of very isolated and don't really enjoy communication. They're a little bit introverted, like extreme introverts. They love it.
Talented.
Talented, extremely talented, brilliant, but they don't enjoy what other people enjoy in that respect. They enjoy
They are
being by
overwhelmed
themselves.
being part of the crowd or something.
Exactly, precisely. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to focus if you don't have the full picture around you. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can turn off your visuals and just listen. That, you know what I mean? You can turn off the visual screen and you go to the bathroom and can still listen. You can make yourself a tea or a coffee. You're in your own home.
Yeah, but I think that's maybe really a way of also part of resilience and what you did immediately with the Drive-by Art project, not looking at the limits, but really looking at the opportunities and the possibilities and this positive way of like doing something. And in your case, your first idea was not what can I do, but like what can we do together? And it's a part of this. It's a collective thing. This Drive-by Art, there was a network. You said it was a mouth-to-mouth communication, like finding more artists to participate, and this cultural community which becomes visible in such a project. Or you work with several other curators to set up an exhibition, remote or not, and you bring together poets and songwriters and artists, or always group exhibitions and group projects. So you really go on with this example of togetherness that we need now. I hope as many people.
That was a beautiful summation of what I've been doing. Thank you very much. Much better than I could have said it.
Great, Brian. It was really fantastic to listen to you, and thank you so much. And we stay in contact. We will do our next time we will do a Zoom conference with you.
Right, we're going to do the Zoom conference. I'm working on that right now.
Okay, great.
Sounds great.
Thank you so much, and have a great time. And I understood that hopefully in March the world will be better. Hopefully next week the world will be better.
Hopefully. And my God.
Crossing fingers. So.
Well, it won't be next
here
week.
we have to
2 weeks from now. I think.
Yeah, we have to lock down here on Monday.
Oh yeah, I heard.
But let's stay positive and let's make the best out of it.
Don't go to restaurants. Don't go to bars. This is the key.
This is what you said when we were telephoning the other day. I will never forget that you said the worst is 8 people that are sitting around a table and having the mouth open. So
right.
This is exactly.
Talking with their mouth full of food.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Spraying vapors of toxicity. Don't go to bars. Don't go to dinner places, and don't have sex with people you don't know.
It was a good finish of this conversation. Bye, Roland. Say hello to Elena, please. Bye.
Bye.